Lucy Davis. Australia, Brisbane, Australia. Okay, so I'm from Elm, and one thing that is really special to me about Elm, especially in my senior year, is just the feeling of like community, that we've like lived together for the past 4 years, and so, you know, when I step into the dining halls or when I'm like in the courtyard or whatever, it just feels a lot like home. Yeah. I'm a physical sciences major. Using X-rays to study archaeology. So one of our history professors did an excavation over the last summer, and he found some artifacts there that he needed analyzed, and so a lot of the analysis techniques in archaeology are based in chemistry, and so I decided to use my capstone to help him with his samples. I was looking for projects that sounded interesting, and I was having a conversation with my supervisor, Stephen Bernasek, who told me that this project was on the horizon and that they were looking for a student who might be able to help with this research, so I decided to take it up. It just sounded like a fun and interesting project. I'd say it's like a journey. 3 words. Okay, I would say like supportive, trusting, and I don't know, he just like gives good advice, like not too much advice, but enough advice that like helps me with my project. Yeah. I had a lot of technical difficulties, so a lot of the instruments that I needed to use in labs were like not really working, and so like navigating that challenge was an unexpected learning process. Yeah. I think the entire process can feel really, really daunting because it's something that you hear about from the start of your freshman year, like, oh, there's this thing called capstone, and so I think there's a tendency to see it as much bigger and scarier than it is, and so really one of the hardest things is just to get started and to, you know, like open a Word document and start writing, or like go to the lab and do an experiment. The lab, yeah. Okay, my go-to, like probably like dark chocolate is definitely like tea. Yeah. So it depends. If I'm trying to focus, then I'll listen to like classical music or just generic like study lo-fi, whatever. If I'm like in the lab and moving around trying to get things done, then I'll try to listen to something like pretty upbeat. So like, I don't know, something poppy like Taylor Swift, or like, yeah, trashy music. Yeah. My presentation, so I did that last week. I think there's been a lot of surprising challenges, but also that's like a really fun way to learn. And so when you start capstone, you have this like idea in your head of like a linear path from A to B of like where your research is going to go. And then you find that it's really not like that at all, and you end up taking like a lot of detours, and just like going through that whole process of like seeing where the research takes you has been really enjoyable for me. I've learned a lot about clay, like a lot about clay. Yeah, I can tell you like all the different minerals and all the different like types of clay and what you can do with it. That's been knowledge that I didn't ever think I would find. Definitely, I think my advisor and a lot of the other physical sciences professors, because yeah, they're just like, you know, even if they're not actually your supervisor, they're very open to like talking you through the scientific process. So if you have challenges that they might know about, then they will have like a conversation with you and try to help you. I would say like don't overthink it. It doesn't need to be like your like the what's the word, like your magnum opus. It doesn't need to be like the biggest, most amazing thing you ever do. It's really just like a research project. And if you allow yourself to like enjoy the process and not see it as like this enormous daunting thing that's going to define who you are as like as a grad school applicant or like a job applicant or something like that, then I think you'll enjoy the process much more. Yeah.